What's going on, everybody? David here. Today we're talking about the best travel cards for active military. But first off, on this channel, we talk about inspiring people to travel more using points. If that sounds like something interesting to you, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the little bell notification so you can get future updates on my videos. All right, so I want to talk about this, but first, it is Veterans Day, so I want to honor all the veterans. Thank you guys for your service, as well as active members. Thank you for keeping us safe. So let's go ahead and get started and talk about travel credit cards that I think all active military should consider. The first thing I want to talk about is why certain banks are waiving the annual fee. So you have the MLA, the Military Lending Act, as well as the SCRA, the Service Members Civil Relief Act. And these acts will allow service members, active service members, to have the fees waived. So certain credit cards that they can get the fees waived. And that's what we're going to talk about today, the best cards for you to look at in this situation. Now, obviously, if you are getting the fees waived, then you'll probably be wanting to look more at the higher end cards, the top tier cards. But we all have to look at the situation. And I remember when I was 18, 19 years old, I probably couldn't get a Chase Sapphire Reserve. So you might have to start small and then build your way up. And certain cards you might want to look at, maybe the Chase Freedom card. Even if your credit isn't good, you can get a secured credit card too, maybe a Capital One secured credit card, and then work your way into some of these higher tier cards that I'm talking about. My advice to you, and I have a couple of videos up on how to build your credit. In one of the videos, I talk about the Capital One secured credit card. So look into getting that card first if your credit's not good. If your credit is okay, then look into getting maybe a Chase Freedom card. That way you're allowing Chase to see your activity, and then maybe in the future you can get some of these cards that we're going to talk about right now. Okay, the first card I want to talk about is a Chase Sapphire Reserve card. This card comes with a $450 annual fee, but because you are active duty, you don't have to pay that annual fee. It will be waived, so that's a good situation for you. You're going to get 50,000 points. That's after spending $4,000 within the first 3 months. You're also going to get a $300 travel credit, and it's pretty broad, the travel credit, so it will include Uber and taxis and things like that. So it's a real good perk. I have the card myself, and every year I'm using the $300 travel credit. So that's good. You're also going to get 3 points for every dollar spent on travel and restaurants. So this is not just a card that you would use for just travel. You can use it for restaurants. So when I go out to eat, I'm always using this card. I get 3 points for every dollar spent. So it's a good card to earn points if you eat out a lot. Other things that are important to note: primary car insurance. So if you do go get a rental car, you'll have primary car insurance with that rental car. So it's not the secondary insurance. So you don't have to get that additional insurance that they try to push to you when you get a rental car. So that's good. Other things to note: travel insurance. Now, travel insurance with Chase, it's generally pretty good with the Chase Sapphire Reserve and the Chase Sapphire Preferred. So with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, they even go as far as they give you like medical emergency insurance. So if you're in another country and you get really sick or ill, you have $2,500 that can go towards that. So that's a good situation for most people. I always recommend getting third-party travel insurance anyway, but it's good to know that Chase does give you something. A lot of the other credit cards will not give you any type of medical emergency insurance. And the last thing I want to talk about is Priority Pass lounge access. You get a variety of different lounges that you have access to when you go to airports through Priority Pass. And you also get the Priority Pass restaurant credit. So there's certain restaurants that are a part of Priority Pass or work with Priority Pass, and they will allow you to get the free restaurant credit, which is up to like $28. So you can get $28 credit. Go into a restaurant, get $28 of free food. So that's always good. Okay, the next card that I want to talk about is the American Express Platinum card. Now, with the American Express Platinum card, the annual fee is $550, but it is waived, so you do not have to pay it if you're active military. You get 60,000 sign-up bonus currently. That's after spending $5,000 within the first 3 months. You get 5 points for every dollar spent on airline travel. So when I'm booking directly with the airline, or if I'm using the Amex travel website, I get 5 points for every dollar spent as well. Now, lounge access. You get Centurion lounge access. You get the Sky Club lounge access if you're flying on Delta, as well as you get the Priority Pass lounge access like with the Chase Sapphire Reserve. But you do not get the restaurant credit. So make sure you understand you don't get that restaurant credit anymore. They've taken that away. Now let's look at some of the credits. Some of the credits that you'll get: $200 airline incidental credit. You'll also get a $200 Uber credit, as well as a $100 Saks Fifth Avenue credit. So you get some credits with this card. It's nice. I do not like how American Express, they kind of make it a little more difficult for you to use credits. With the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you get a $300 credit. You don't have to do anything else. All you need to do is use your card. Once they see that it falls in the category of travel, then they will automatically take it off your account. But with like the Uber credit, they're only going to give you a certain amount of money every month. So there are different loopholes that you have to kind of jump through. And with the airline credit, you have to specify the airline. So let's say I specify Delta as my airline, but I'm flying on JetBlue. Well, I'm not going to get incidentals flying on JetBlue. I have to designate that airline, or it's not going to count. Other things to note, you get Marriott and Hilton status. So like with Hilton, you get the gold status. So that will allow you to get free breakfast and complimentary upgrades if they're available, things like that. So these are good perks to have, and you don't have to stay any nights at Hilton in order to get these status. All you need to do is have the American Express Platinum card, so that's good. You also have access to the Fine Hotels and Resorts collection. Now let's look at the next card on the list. It's a Citi Prestige card. With the Citi Prestige card, the annual fee is $495, but then again, it will be waived if you're active military. You're gonna get a $50,000 sign-up bonus after spending $4,000 within the first 3 months. You get 5 points for every dollar spent on travel and restaurants, so it's really good with the earn possibility on this card. It's excellent. You get 3 points for every dollar spent at hotels and cruise lines. You get the 4th night free twice per year. So this 4th night free is a big perk that in the past it was unlimited, so people were really using this credit, but now they're only going to do it twice per year, but it's still good. If you travel like me 3 to 4 times per year and you use this and you can get it, get an extra night on 2 different occasions, I think it's a win. You also get Priority Pass lounge access, so you do have access to lounges with the Citi Prestige card. Okay, the last card that I want to talk about, and this is probably my favorite card that's out there right now, it's the Hilton Aspire card. So this is American Express Hilton Aspire card. So let's take a look at this one. This card, you're going to get 150,000 points after spending $4,000 within the first 3 months. Now, I will say with Hilton, when it comes to Hilton points, they aren't as valuable as some of these other currencies that I was talking about. So 150,000 points might seem like a lot, but compared to, let's say, the Chase Sapphire Reserve or even the American Express Platinum, those points are more valuable. So they're 150,000 points is equivalent to 50,000 points with Chase Sapphire Reserve if you use those points right. So just because I'm saying it's 150,000, don't think, oh, it's 3 times better as far as the points that you can get on a sign-up bonus. It doesn't always work out that way. With the Hilton Aspire card, you also get Priority Pass lounge access. You get the Hilton Elite status. So with this Hilton card, you're going to get Elite status at Hilton. So you'll get their top tier. You're going to be a Diamond status. You don't have to stay any nights in your Diamond. So that's amazing. That's one of a kind. You don't see credit cards that will allow you that top tier status. So that's good. This is good because you can status match with other hotel chains and get their top status, or you can just stay with Hilton and you don't have a requirement to stay 30 nights or 30 stays or 60 nights or whatever the requirement is. You don't have to do that anymore. You're paying a $450 annual fee for this card. But then again, if you're active military, it's not, you don't have to pay that. And you're getting that Elite status. And with Elite status, you will get late checkout, 5th night free award stays, and then 20 points for every dollar spent, in addition to the 14 points for every dollar spent that you get with the card if you're making purchases at Hilton property. So it's an amazing deal just to have that Elite status. And I would pay to get the card. I'd pay that $450 just to get that Elite status because it gives you so much more in the long run. Other things to note, you get a free weekend night, you get credit. So you get a $250 airline incidental credit, you get a $250 Hilton resort credit, and that includes additional nights. So if you're staying, you want additional nights, you can use that credit for that. You get a $100 credit at Waldorf Astoria and Conrad properties. Now let's talk about the earn possibility with this card. You're going to get 14 points for every dollar spent at Hilton property and 7 points for every dollar spent booked directly with the airline on AmexTravel.com, select car rental companies, and U.S. restaurants. So you're getting 7 points for every dollar spent at U.S. restaurants, which is really good. And then on all other purchases, you're going to get 3 points for every dollar spent. So those are the 4 cards that I wanted to go over today for active military. They all have annual fees. They all have high annual fees. They're top tier cards, but I think they're great cards to get. The only thing is, when you're no longer active military, now you're going to have to pay those annual fees. So you're going to have to work around that. One way to work around that is to downgrade the cards. So you can downgrade these cards. Some of the cards you can downgrade to 0 annual fee, but not all of them. Like the American Express Platinum, you're not going to be able to downgrade it to a 0 annual fee, but you can downgrade it to a lower a lower card where your annual fee is not going to be $550. But that's what I have for you guys. But more importantly, I want to know what you guys think. So in the comment section below, let me know what cards that you guys like. If you are active military and you have some credit cards, please let us know down below. And like I said again, thank you for your service, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.